Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss two important branching statements or jumping statements in Java. Break and continue are the two jump statements available in Java. The purpose of having these two statements is to transfer the control of execution from the current instruction to another instruction that is in little far location, or that is not in the next immediate next location, or not in the next position in the sequential fashion. So that is the purpose of break and continue. So these are just to transfer the control of execution or to branch and the execution control to some far location or to some far instruction. Let us start with break. Break is actually it's provided in a particular loop. Suppose if it is provided in a particular loop, and when this break is executed, immediately the control of execution will come out of that loop or come out of that block, right? So if it is mentioned within switch case statement, and when the break is encountered in a particular case, all the remaining cases in that switch case statement will be skipped, or it will be simply the control will be come out of that switch block itself. Like that, if it is provided within a looping structure, if it is provided within a loop, and when break is executed, the loop will be completely terminated and it will come out of the loop. So this is the main purpose of break. So when the break statement is encountered within a block, then the control of execution will move out of the block, and the execution will continue or resume from the instruction that immediately follows that block. Suppose if it is encoded within a loop or looping structure, then the looping structure or the loop will be terminated, and the program control will resume the instruction of execution from the next statement following the loop. Now let us start discussing the break with a small example. Let me take a small example of finding the sum of first n natural numbers program. So in the sum of first n natural numbers program, let me give that, for example, let me assume a situation or condition that if the sum reaches, for example, value more than 1000. Okay, so I am finding the sum of first n natural numbers, but during the iterations, right, if the value of sum is going beyond 1000, I want to stop adding the values. If I want to give such a state, such an case in my program, then how can I implement it? I have to keep on checking whether the sum is greater than 1000. Okay, when it is reaching that case, okay, sum is greater than 1000, at that point I can terminate the loop. That means I can break the loop. So this is where I'm going to use this break statement in my program. So now already the program is with the class, then main, and then scanner is declared, and description to the user is given, and the value n is variable n is declared, and it is assigned with the value. Now sum is the variable that is going to store the sum of the first n natural numbers. Now let me start writing the loop. So for I equal to 1 and I less than or equal to n, because we are going to find the sum of first n natural numbers. So first natural number is 1 and the last natural number should be n. So I less than or equal to n, then I plus plus, right? Now here what we are going to do, we are going to add the current value of natural number or add the current natural number with sum. So sum equal to sum plus, okay, sum equal to sum plus I. So it is adding the current natural number with the existing value of sum or the previous value of sum, and sum of natural numbers up to current value of I will be there in this sum. What I want to implement here is I want to exit this summation process if the sum is, for example, greater than 5000. Okay, suppose if the sum is greater than 5000. So in that case, what I do, if okay, sum is greater than 5000, right? if this is the condition satisfied after the current sum is calculated, immediately break or terminate the loop. That means stop processing or stop adding the numbers. Okay, simply break. So break is the keyword used in Java, and it's a statement or instruction that is actually used to terminate the current loop, the loop within which that particular break is used, right? So now let us check it. So how this program will behave is it will start from 1 and will keep on adding up to n, and suppose at any point of time after adding the current value of I with sum, it will check whether the sum is greater than 5000. If sum is greater than 5000, there you stop adding the numbers, right? And after that you print the current value of sum, right? Now let us compile it. Before that, one error is there. The declaration of I is missing. Now it's declared. Let us compile it. Now it's compiled. No syntax error. Let us run the program. Yes. Enter the value of n. For example, let me give the value 200, as I gave in the previous example, right? So it stopped with 5050. Okay, so once the value of actually I is crossing, or once the value of sum is crossing 5000, there the process ends. So let me clear this output screen one time and let me execute, okay, again. Yes, so let me give another value, for example even 300. It stops with 5050 because why? Because it will keep on adding from the numbers 1 till that n. But suppose if the sum is reaching the value 5000, for the value, if you are adding up to 100, at that point the value of sum will cross 5000, right? So in that case, what will happen? The break statement given within this loop will be terminating this loop. So current value of sum will be sum of first 100 natural numbers. There it will stop. So it will display 5050. That is the sum of first 100 natural numbers. But suppose if it is below that, okay. Suppose if it is below that, it will keep on adding because this condition will not be satisfied and break will not be executed, and it will keep on adding. For example, let me give the value. Let me run the program by giving the value, for example 50 as input. Let me give the value 50 as input. Okay, so 50. You see now the sum of first 50 natural numbers is 1275 is actually executed without any problem because it's not reaching the value 5000. Sum is not reaching the value 5000, and it's not break. It's no need to break. Okay, so this is how the break is working. Now let us move to the next jump statement in Java, that is continue. Continue is actually used in a looping structure only, and if a continue statement is executed or encountered, then the remaining statements in that particular loop will be skipped and the control of execution move to the next iteration. So a set of statements are provided and somewhere continue is encountered, and if continue is encountered, the remaining statements in the same block, okay, in the same iteration will be skipped. So the current iteration will be terminated. So what is the difference between break and continuous? Break will terminate the whole looping structure, whole looping executions, but continue will terminate the current iterations execution, and it will initiate the next iteration of the same loop. So that is the main difference between break and continue. So continue enable the control of execution to skip the remaining statements in the iteration and to start the next iteration. Let us discuss this with small example. So in this, what I do is, for example, I want to find, or I want to display or find only the sum of first n odd numbers. So you are going to find the sum of first n natural numbers. Out of that, you calculate only the sum of odd numbers, right? So if you want to, if you are encountering an even number, then just skip that particular number. Okay, just keep adding that number. Okay, just keep adding that number. So here this for loop will add the natural number with sum, but here what condition I am providing is, if you are encountering an even number, just skip adding that number and continue with the next number, next natural number. So this is what the behavior I want to provide to this program. How can I implement it is, right? So I am removing this now. Okay, right. And what you do is, I am checking whether the current number or current natural number is actually even or not. Suppose if it is or if it is odd, I want to add it, right? So in that case, if I want to, if I check for even condition, right, I by 2 using modulus division operator, and if you're getting remainder 0, it's even number, right? If it's a even number, then what you do, simply skip summing or adding that particular natural number with sum. So just give continue here. So what will happen, if this if the current natural number is an even number, you no need to do the summation. Okay, and you skip the remaining statements in the same block. So what is the remaining statement here? Sum equal to sum plus I. So that number will not be added with sum, and the next iteration will be started. That means the control will start the next iteration, that means next natural number will be processed, right? So this is the purpose of continue. So continue will skip the remaining statements in the same block or in the same iteration, and it will start the next iteration. So that is what actually the purpose of continue. So now let us check. So we hope that sum of first n, for example, odd natural numbers, right? If the number is even, right, it will not be added. That means this statement will be skipped. Okay, because the remaining statements in the block will be skipped. So this statement will be skipped, and the control will move to the next natural number, right? And now sum of first n odd natural numbers are getting calculated. Now let us compile it. No syntax error. And let me clear the screen one time. Right, now let me run the program. Let me run the program. For example, let me give the value 100. Okay, let me give the value 100. So first sum of first 100 numbers, but sum of odd numbers, sum of numbers which are added, and out of that only the odd numbers are getting added, right? All the odd numbers in the first 100 natural numbers are getting added. Right, now let us check it. Yes, it is adding all the natural numbers, odd natural numbers, and it is giving the value 2500. Okay, so here what you want to understand is actually the behavior of the continue. So continue will skip the remaining statements, or otherwise you can say in another way, this will terminate the current iteration of the for loop, or current iteration of the loop, and it will initiate the next iteration of the loop. Or in other way, okay, it will skip the remaining statements in the same iteration, and it will start the next iteration. I hope that you understood break and continue statements, and where it can be used and how it can be used, how this break and continue statements will behave. So keep on practicing programming, and subscribe the channel Program of Our Programmers by Felix. Press the bell button for further notifications, and happy programming. Thank you.